Welcome to Summon Tesla. If this is your first time here, I thank you very much for clicking on this video. If you guys at all find what I'm about to tell you useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. I very much appreciate that. If this is not your first time here, I thank you very much for coming back. That being said, today's video has a little bit to do with buying a Tesla. Well, actually has a lot to do with buying a Tesla. There's more and more people buying these cars, and there are more and more questions with regards to buying the cars. And I'm going to make this a few different parts, but this is part one. So let's talk about prior to buying a Tesla, what you should be considering, what kind of considerations you should kind of put in your head prior to going out there and actually making that purchase. If you're looking to buy a Tesla, or if you're looking to possibly buy any type of a Tesla, I think one of the key things for you to understand, to kind of keep in your mind, is Teslas are very unique cars, and it's a very different driving experience than what you're used to if you've never been in a Tesla, or if you've never been in an EV for that matter. Teslas are amazing cars, but an amazing car is something that you cannot, don't be sold on just the fact that it's an amazing car. I highly encourage every single person out there, go book a test drive, make sure that you test drive the vehicles. It's very important for you to go through that process, to go through that experience. I think one of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing a lot of people do is they fall in love with watching these videos. A lot of YouTubers are out there making videos, and there's a lot of people that you hear from, and you I guess you get kind of pulled into the idea of Tesla. And I've seen people go out there and order Teslas without ever driving the car. In all honesty, I've never seen anybody regret doing that. But what I do see is a lot of people don't know how to use the car. They don't understand so many aspects of the car, and they're not used to the mentality of what's to come. For many of you, if you're thinking about this, keep in mind, number one, it's a very different experience than what you're used to. The way that the car handles, and the way that you approach the vehicle, from the moment that you walk up to it, to the moment that you start driving it, to the moment that you are driving it, and then when you stop driving it, that entire experience is very, very unique when it comes to cars. Teslas are very, very different as far as the experience goes. It doesn't really matter what you use it for. If you use it as a work vehicle, again, I use my vehicle as a work vehicle. But here's something that is not very often talked about. When people buy Teslas, they go through the process of, looking and doing the research of the range, looking and doing the research of what kind of maintenance there are, and those kind of things. And those are very simple. I can break it down for you very simply. Whatever Tesla's range, when you go to the website and you see the range, whatever range you see, and this applies for every vehicle, take 20% of that and throw it out the window. And the reason I say that is because if you're going to be comfortable with the range that is remaining, after you remove that 20% of the given range, then you'll be fine. You'll never have to worry about it. The second part to that is read everything that's on their website, all the different options. A lot of people get very confused with regards to FSD. They see the full self-driving, which is essentially not full self-driving. It is what Tesla calls it. I call it a driver assistance program. That's really what it is. Yes, there is a level of autonomy, a feeling of autonomy, but it's not necessarily autonomy. Don't get me wrong, autopilot is awesome. However, you have to keep that in mind with regards to building your vehicle. When you go through the whole process of building your vehicle, look at it very carefully. Go through a list. Do you want a white interior? Do you want different wheels? What model do you want? As for something that I see a lot of people do, a lot of people make mistakes, they go for the cheapest possible one. Going for the cheapest possible is not the best way to do it. I recommend to everybody go for the all-wheel drive long range. That to me is the one that makes the most sense, the best bang for your buck, and the one that gives you the least amount of worry. When it comes to range overall, again, Teslas are awesome on it. But I do need you to all keep in mind the charging aspect. Look at your local area. Look where you live. Are there enough chargers? First of all, what are you going to use the vehicle for? If you're going to use it every day, you can gauge how many kilometers or miles you're doing every single day. Then keep in mind that once you have this vehicle, there's a very good chance, there's a very high chance you're going to be driving more because of the experience that this car gives you. So add a little bit more to that. If you drive 50 miles a day, give yourself a little bit of room, let's say 80 to 100 miles a day. If you're driving 100, 120 miles a day, pretend it's 150. Give yourself that extra room. Is that going to be enough for you? That being said, if you know that particular range that you're going for, are you going to have the charging network along the way? So is there a supercharger close by? Is there enough infrastructure in your area to charge this vehicle that you just bought? The Tesla network is by far the best charging network out there, without a doubt, especially for fast charging. That being said, it's still growing at an exponential rate, but it's still growing. I happen to have talked to a few people where they don't have the charging is not meeting their needs, and they didn't look into this prior to buying the car. They love the car, they love every aspect of the car, but they did not plan ahead. They did not think ahead and say, listen, do I have a charging network? I see this right now happening with Mach-E owners. I've talked to a couple of Mach-E owners who basically they bought the Mach-E, but now they're running into a charging problem. In their area, there are Tesla chargers, but there aren't anything that they can use for their Mach-E. And this is an issue for them. This is a problem for them. It's obviously going to be something that's going to interfere with their experience of their car. Yes, they can charge from home. That's not a problem. But anything outside of that kind of becomes an issue. So think about your charging. Think about, are you going to have an infrastructure that's good enough to charge? But most important, the biggest, and I think that the best advice I can give you, if you're really thinking about this, find the nearest supercharger close to you. Urban charger, supercharger, doesn't matter. Any type of charger where it's a Tesla exclusive charger. So you're going to be looking at either a Tesla supercharger, which, you know what, I'll put it up on the screen to show you how it looks, or you're going to be looking at a Tesla urban charger, which kind of looks like this. What this means is these two chargers, if you go there and you find out, you talk to owners, they're there charging their vehicles anyway, feel free to go up and kind of talk to, well, currently please wear your masks, but go up to any Tesla owner and, you know, if it's the Model 3, Model Y, S, X, whatever you're interested in, you'll always find one of these cars at those locations. Have a chat with the owner. Tesla owners in general are very, very friendly, and they'll be very happy to answer your questions, kind of give you the information. They'll also be the ones able to tell you about the charging network, what's around. And I always recommend you don't just talk to one, but you talk to multiple owners at one of these stations. You have to remember there is no such thing as a perfect company. Some people may have different experiences. Some people might have buyer's remorse. I know a ton of people who bought these cars, didn't think about the expense, didn't think about the car itself as how much it comes out, you know, that initial price that you're paying, because these are not cheap cars. So they have kind of a buyer's remorse. This happened recently with somebody. They bought the car and then they realized they're not even sure if they can afford it. Just because you can buy it doesn't mean you can afford it. So again, talk to multiple owners, get a good all-around bit of information from everybody, and gather as much knowledge as you can, but try and get it from the owners, directly from the owners. It's something I talk about a lot of Tesla channels where they're not Tesla owners. They don't own a Tesla, I personally find that to be really bad. Tesla reviewers, people who have the car for a week, have the car for a day, they are not the people to talk to. You know, they don't get the full experience, and you won't get the full experience for a good month before you actually start getting adapted to that car in a way that you feel very comfortable saying that you understand the car. That being said, I think the best advice by far that I can give to anyone, and I do give to everyone, is talk to Tesla owners directly. Talk to the people who drive these cars, who own these cars, who have the experience on a daily basis with these cars. Because if you don't, you're getting a skewed bit of information. All right, that's part one. I'm gonna work on part two for you guys. That should be up in a couple of days. That being said, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get the channel up to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and I appreciate every one of your supports. That being said, have yourselves a wonderful day and good luck. I hope you buy one, and if you do, leave me a comment. Let me know that you bought one and what did you end up buying, and if this video at all helped. Till next time, drive safe.